Hey everybody, I'm Greg.
And I'm Katie. Welcome to the Meeple Society. Today we are continuing our trek through our top 100. We are on 70 to 61.
Correct.
Yes, 70 to 61 today. Before we get started, please like the video, subscribe to the channel if you like this type of content, and of course, hit that bell icon if you want notification of future content.
And you can follow the link below and see us on all of our social media.
Yes, do that.
So we are at 70.
We're at 70. Now, before we get started, though,
We're almost through the good games.
Okay, they're all good games.
Yeah.
We did do this entire ranking on Pub Meeple over this. We started out with what, 1,700 games, something, a ridiculously high amount of games. But it was all the games we played. So if you don't agree with our selections,
it's our opinion.
Blame Pub Meeple. Okay, so I'm kidding.
Okay,
all right,
70.
number 70. My number 70 is a new one. It was actually a 2023 release. We picked this one up at Gen Con. It was, well, it's in the footsteps of Darwin. I won't make you guess this one with the weird clue like I did in our 2023 one. Never mind.
I was going to say, haven't you already talked about this one? But no, that's a different video.
That was a different video.
Okay.
Anyway, so In the Footsteps of Darwin is exactly what it sounds like. You are following in the footsteps of Darwin. You are playing a scientist or an archaeologist. I don't know. Anyway, collecting tiles that depict different animal types from around the world and putting them onto your player board. The trick is that you're trying to make sets and you are moving his ship called the Beagle around the board. It's a 3x3 grid in the middle of the board with tiles on it. You get to pick one tile from the row or column it's sitting in front of. The trick being that as soon as you pick the tile, the Beagle moves.
You remembered the name of the ship. I'm proud of you. Only
because I just finished editing that part in the other video. Anyway, you did. Anyhow, and then I had to look it up to make sure you were right.
Anyway.
So the ship moves based on the tile that you chose. So if you pick the first tile, it moves one spot. If you pick the third tile in the column or row, then it moves 3 spots. It's just a very neat balance. Very easy game to learn.
Yes.
Lots of things to puzzle out. There's goals to obtain and you get various action points, or not action points, I'm sorry, victory points. So you get various victory points for the various goals that you can pick up throughout the game. I don't know. I really like it. It's a simple 25-minute game. It's not a brain burner, which I'm finding I like. A lot of the games on my list are not brain burners this week.
Wow.
Not all of them. Anyway.
Well, my number 70 is my favorite of the centuries. Century Spice Road.
All right.
This is all about buying cards to be able to manipulate the cubes you're getting, to be able to get to different cubes, to be able to get to different cards. So it's kind of a deck builder because you're starting off with your basic
kind
cards.
Of a hand builder.
Yeah,
because everything's in your hand until you decide to pick them all back up again.
And you're playing cards to do what says on the card, and you're trying to buy cards that are in the row. And however far down you go the row, you got to place that many cubes. You got to have the cubes to be able to place them out there. But yeah, it's probably the best, in my opinion, the best one of the Century ones.
Yeah.
So that is Century Spice Road.
My number 69 is another lighter weight game. This is one we've had for a little while. I don't remember where we picked it up, though. I remember seeing it at Gen Con. It's all about fish and building out the reefs. It's called Reef.
Oh, okay.
So, all right, so with Reef, every player has their own little 4x4 player board. there's a number of cards laid out in the middle of the table that you have two options for. You can use them to score, or you can use them to gain pieces of the reef. And those pieces immediately go onto your board. So you are simultaneously building reefs on your board while trying to collect the cards or hold on to the cards that are going to give you the best advantageous scoring from the reefs that you're trying to build using different cards. So it's just a really neat puzzle. And then there's this little mini expansion that allows you to move fish around, and the fish give you different scoring. We don't play with that expansion very often because the scoring is a little tricky, but I do enjoy it. So, but yeah, that is my 69 reef.
Okay. We're going to go gambling for my 69.
Okay.
And going to Vegas for Lords of Vegas.
All right. I can get behind this one.
Where were we at? We recently heard somebody refer to this as a Monopoly style game. I've never thought of it being a Monopoly style game.
No, a Monopoly killer is what they called it.
Okay.
It had to have been on a podcast on our recent road trip.
I don't get that though. Why would it be a Monopoly? I mean, anything can kill Monopoly, but
I mean, I get it. Because the cards are giving you your location on the board, your plots.
Right. And then you got to pay to build.
You've got to pay to build on them. You've got to pay to upgrade. So it's financial and dealing with money on specific plots of land. You can't just buy any plot of land on the board. Well, you can, but you risk getting kicked off of it.
Yeah, because you can sprawl and take over another plot. Yes. But if that plot comes up, then you're going to lose it.
Yeah.
And then if you've already built on it, well, these people are going to...
Too bad. The other people get the benefit.
They get the benefit of it. But yeah, but this is all about building casinos on the Strip in Vegas. And you're basically trying to build the biggest and best casino, but you're trying to get it where, as cards are played, they're going to pay off certain casinos depending on the card it is. So you're wanting to see, like, this casino hasn't paid off much. Let's go ahead and start building that one.
Yeah, I think there's 5 colors of casinos.
Yeah, and then at some point in the game, you're going to like, well, those are almost all played out, and this one hasn't. I'm going to remodel, and we're going to
change all these silvers to
change
purple.
All these, change the silvers to the brown or to the green or whatever.
Something that hasn't
so
paid
now
out
it's going
to
pay some more though, and of course there's cards that if you have hotels, they're hotels too.
They are hotels.
Casinos on the Strip, they're going to pay again. So it's really cool, and it's kind of a timing game just to make sure you know when you're paying.
Yeah.
This one has a few expansions to it, and the last time we played it, we actually played with all the expansions. Do you need them? Not really.
No.
They're interesting to add into the game, but they're not needed for the game. But this one I think is... No, they just had a Kickstarter and re-released this game.
Yeah, I have not seen one in the store, though.
I haven't seen it come out yet, though. No. So it was hard to find for a while. It was a Mayfair game.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that is Lords of Vegas. Mine number 69.
Yes.
Yes, 69.
That's a good one. All right, my number 68 is another it's a newer one. A year, maybe 2 years old at most. This is a cooperative game about, oh my goodness, trying to deal with an oil spill and the ramifications around one. This is called The Spill.
Yeah, I know you like this one.
I do like this one. It's a neat puzzle. We've probably got a 50-50 track record on winning this one. This one can be hard to win. I know you don't like this one.
I didn't say I didn't like it.
You just don't agree with the way I play it.
Yes.
Okay. So the object of this game is that you are trying to control an oil spill while trying to save the animals that are being affected by it. There are 6 different animal species out around the board. The board is essentially a circle depicting the area that the oil spill is going to spread into. And it spreads based on dice rolls. The dice tower in the center of the table looks like an oil rig, and you are dumping so many dice in there per round depending on the level of, I don't want to say complexity, depending on how bad it's gotten so far, essentially. And then throughout the game, the oil will spill based on what comes out of that dice tower, or that oil rig, and may infect animals. And if you lose too many animals, you lose the game. If you have too much oil on the board, you lose the game. Just like any good cooperative, there's a million ways to lose and only one way to win. But I do really enjoy it. It's a good puzzle. It feels personal when you lose an animal and they have to go to the sick bay. So I enjoy this one.
Yeah.
This spill.
It's a good game. You just play it wrong.
Okay. Anyhow, but yeah, that is my number 68, The Spill.
Mm-hmm. My number 68 is all about crafting wooden projects. And this is Woodcraft, where you are forest people,
I guess,
with competing wood shops, and you're trying to make the nicest stuff. You're going onto the board and you're going to the areas that are open, and as areas open up and fills up, the dial's going to move and new actions are going to come out. And possible if you go to certain places, you could get bonuses depending on where it's set up, though. You're growing your own trees. Different color trees mean different colored dice. You can buy the dice. You can cut wood to make them smaller, and then, oops, I cut it too much. Now you can get glue and glue them back together. I really wish that's how it worked in the real world, but
I do like that aspect, that if you have a 6 and you need a piece of wood that's a 3, you can use a saw and literally cut that, figuratively cut that die in half, depicting your piece of wood, and have two brown 3s.
Yes.
Instead of one
yellow
brown
3s
6 or whatever.
Green 3s.
I
Depending
like,
on the dice you cut.
thematically, I really like that.
Yes.
So.
Yes, but the gluing it back together to make a bigger piece
does not make sense. Well, I mean, there's glue used in wood crafting, just not in your profession.
Wood crafting, yes, but they're making it so you can have a bigger piece.
Yes, that doesn't work.
You can't glue that together.
No.
It doesn't work that way. Anyway, that is my number 68. Is that what we're on?
Yes.
Yes, Woodcraft.
Okay. My number 67 is, this was a Kickstarter we received recently, filled with delightful little robots. You are, this is transmissions.
Oh, good. Delightful little robots.
This is when nobody plays one specific character in this one.
No.
Everybody shares the same 4 robots.
Yep.
And you move those robots based on card play.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody has the exact same deck. The exact same deck of cards. You keep so many cards in your hand at a time. I think you get 2 or 3. I don't remember right off the top of my head how many cards you have in your hand at a time. And you play one of those cards. You move that depicted robot, or a robot that is sitting on that depicted piece of territory. Mm-hmm. You can move him based on his speed. Yep. Each robot has a different speed. So one of them may only move 2 spaces. Doesn't matter where he's sitting or how you're moving him. He moves 2 spaces, and that's it. Mm-hmm. Everybody moves in the same direction unless you have a special ability that lets you move backwards. There are tiles that go onto your player boards that you are picking up throughout the game that do give you those special abilities, and one of them is to be able to move backwards. But the neat thing with this is when you pick up one of those special ability tiles, you have to pick which of the 4 robots it affects.
Yep.
So if you put him on the yellow robot, you can't move the red robot backwards. Only the yellow robot gets to go backwards. I just think that's neat.
Yeah, this is a pretty cool
it's super light, but yet it's still got some good decisions to make.
Yep, really cool little robot.
Oh,
minis.
The components are gorgeous. Really, really like the components in this one. Good thick cardboard, and the robots are absolutely adorable. I couldn't have asked for better. But anyway, that is Transmissions. My number 67.
My number 67 is all about the monsters. Justin and Jackie plays this with us a lot.
Oh, okay.
And they just picked up the 3rd one. But this is Horrified, and actually Horrified American Monsters.
Okay.
This one, we consider ourselves decent gamers, And the first time we played this game, we was like, we could take 3 of them on. No problem. How hard can it be? Well, we got our butts whipped.
We haven't won a game.
Yes, we haven't won this yet, though. But it's a lot of fun trying to go around and rescue the citizens, and also try and
defeat the monsters.
Defeat the monsters by whatever their goal is on their card, by whatever you have to do, and collect certain things to get them done and everything. And it's hard to get the stuff to the monsters card to be able to use it to finish, because half the time you're almost there, you've got almost everything you need.
And
you need one more thing, and they catch you and you lose everything.
Oh, yeah.
Or you've got to spend something because the monster's on you to get away. And it's really cool. Because everybody gets their own.
Quite a bit.
Yes, everybody gets their own powers.
Yes.
Everybody has their own certain power.
Yes.
Yeah. It's
really a good
cool.
one. Yep. It's a good one. I just wish we could win it.
So that is my 67 horrified American monsters.
Okay. All right, my number 66 is one of the thinkier games this week.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. This is, oh my gosh, this is a deduction game, which I find I really like. I've actually done this one solo a couple times.
Okay, so that's thinky. Deduction, never mind, go on.
This is the Search for Planet X.
Oh, yeah, you can have it.
I didn't think this will not show up on his.
No.
I love this game. I love the deduction puzzle of this one. And I've heard from a lot of people that this is a great solo game. So I don't remember why I wanted to play it solo. I don't know if we were talking about it. No, I don't know if we were talking about it on a podcast or what.
Possibly.
But I decided I wanted to try it solo a couple times, and I did. And it was hard, but I got it. I love the puzzle of this one. So the way Search for Planet X works, it is an app-based game, which I'm not always a huge fan of, but in this type of game, you really don't have a choice. You kind of got to have it. In the app, you are given one of a few different choices, and you can search, or you can scan, or there's a number of different options. Each one does something a little different. But the ultimate goal is you are given a set of logic puzzles, and throughout the game, you're given more logic puzzles. You're giving more pieces to that logic puzzle, I should say. And the logic puzzles are things like every comet is next to another comet. That's the big one. I think that's one of the standards, is every comet is next to another comet. You're not going to have a gas cloud next to a planet. Throughout the game, you're able to deduce. Now, mind you, the board has, in the beginner game, 12 sectors of space you're dealing with. In the advanced game, it's 18 sectors of space, or 16 sectors of space. I don't know. I've only done the advanced once by myself.
Well, yeah.
But you are trying to figure out every time you find something. Okay, great, I found a planet. Well, I know neither of the sectors next to it hold gas clouds, or whatever else this particular scenario has given me. I just love the deduction part of this one. There's been a second, I don't want to say second edition.
No.
They made a sequel, Search for the Lost Species, which I didn't back because I like the one I have. I love the space theme, but I'm curious about it, so I really want to check out that one at some point.
The game is good. I don't knock my brain doesn't work the way it says. Or well, it does actually. It does, but for some reason I write down the wrong information.
Yeah.
I think it's my app. It told me the wrong information, and it just cheats for her whenever we play it.
I don't think that's the way those apps work, but okay.
She does something to it, and it makes me get wrong information. Because every time we've played this, I've some place along there, something got marked down wrong. And by that time, I'm so frustrated with the game, I'm not going to look through the history and see what I did wrong.
Okay. So it's the app's fault. Okay.
It is the app's fault, and somehow she manipulates the app to make me lose all the time.
Okay.
So.
Well, that's my number 66. Apparently, I will be playing this one by myself. But that is Search for Planet X.
Okay, so that was 66?
Yes.
Okay, so my 66 is a game she doesn't like.
Oh, okay.
And apparently I either have to play this one solo or bring my son and one of his friends over to play this so we can play a season. This is 11.
Oh, yeah,
a
no.
football manager game
Nope.
for soccer. This is all about owning a soccer team. You are building your soccer, because at the beginning of the week you are having a meeting and it's going to tell you exactly about what you're going to end up with at the beginning of the week. And with all the resources you're going to gain and everything, you can upgrade your stadium, upgrade the stands, upgrade your team, get commercials for your team to get more money. And then at the end of the week, you're going to play your soccer game. This is the part she hated.
Yes.
Because you're basically going to put your
That
team
is
out there.
an
They're going to put their team. You're going to see the team you're playing. They're going to put their team out there. And then there's a way to tell whether the ball gets through and scores or not. She can understand that part because you get a scouting card at the beginning of the week, and it tells you, hey, this team is big on defense. So during the week, you're going to want to make sure your team is set for a defensive team. So you can use that scouting report at the end to help you out during the game. But this can be played one game at a time, or you can play a season, which I'm really interested in getting to the table, but I'm not big on solo games, so I'll have to get Justin to come over and play it. And maybe Jacob, but she's not going to play it.
I played it for the playing through our collection videos, and that is the extent of that.
It's a really good game. So that is a 66-11 football manager board game.
Okay. All right, my number 5.
5? We're gone to 5s already? Wow. It was like just deja vu.
Hold on.
It felt like just minutes ago we were at 66.
Okay. All right, my number 65 is one of the Azul games. This is by far, I think, the most complex of the Azul games. But I do love that puzzle. This is Queen's Garden.
Yep.
Yeah. I like all of the Azul games, and I know everybody always has their favorites. Well, I'm not going to spoil whether it's my favorite. I do love this one. I love the complexity of this one. Unlike the other Azul games where you have the circle of areas where you are pulling tiles from, this one is done a little bit different. This is hexagon tiles that are going into a garden, and the goal is to surround statues and to surround waterfalls to get benefits from them. Well, there's a couple ways you can do this one. You can do same color or same pattern. There's a number of different scoring patterns on this one. Yep. But it is one of the hardest. This one, you are not only, this is the only one actually that does this, you are not only trying to collect the tiles, but you're trying to collect the pieces of the garden as well. So when the tiles come out, there are 4 tiles on the back, the back side of a garden piece. And once that garden piece has been completely cleared, then you can flip that tile over and it is now something that can be picked up instead of tiles. That garden piece can be picked up now instead of the flower tiles. So it gives that extra added layer. So you're building out your garden as you go. But yeah, I love this one. It is a good puzzle. It is, like I said, by far the most complex. But I think it was a good addition to it. It tweaked everything. Actually, this one tweaked it a lot.
Yeah.
So
I think this is my favorite Azul, but I don't think Azul's made it the list. So.
Wow. Okay. But that is Azul, Queen's Garden. My number 65. Yes.
My number 65 is all about the mining.
It could be a couple different things. Keep going.
It's a pickup. It's kind of a pickup and delivery type of game.
Okay. I think I know what it is.
You're going up and down a shaft.
Okay.
Getting little
I know what it
mining
is.
carts to get the different
What
colors.
the heck is it called now?
This
I can
is
picture
coal
it.
bearing.
Thank you. I knew it was coal something. I couldn't remember the second
turning
word.
around. People just sing the back of your head.
Yeah, whatever. because it's back here somewhere.
So,
anyway.
Coal Baron is all about there is a large board. You're going to the different user to pick up contracts for that, or you're buying new carts to put in your mine to be able to get the coal out, or the different types of the ore and stuff. Because there's 4 different levels of ore.
4 different colors, yeah.
And they're in the different depths. You're trying to balance the side of your mines from the non-lighted side to the lighted side with the cards, because if not, you're going to lose points. You're trying to get the ore up as fast as you can to get them onto the vehicles that you need to do it with, especially with the ones that are going to score that round, and get them delivered so you get points for that. There's a cafeteria in the game where you can go once you've been booted, because you can boot people off, but to boot the people off, you've got to go with one more worker than the other ones were. So, and then they just go to the cafeteria and they collect $1, I think.
And you get $1 for everybody in the cafeteria.
You get $1 for lunch. But anyway, so yeah, there's places to go to get more money, to be able to go to the different spots to get stuff. So it is really cool on how you have to go around up on this board and pay attention to this board as to where you're going to go to get the stuff to make your mine work, to get the stuff out, to make the points you need. So, but this is one we found on a clearance shelf many years ago. We really liked it, and we took it
just
to
re-released it.
Yeah, the artwork is a lot different. And not a lot of people liked it.
That's what I've heard.
Like the artwork. I mean, the game's still the game, but the artwork's not as best. We took this to the Dice Tower and played it at the Dice Tower Retreat. So that is Coal Baron, my 65.
All right, my 64 is a little bitty dice game. This is actually one of my, well, obviously it's one of my favorite roll and writes. It's on the list. I don't know why I keep saying that.
A little bitty dice game.
Yes.
Roll for it?
No. This is...
okay. I think I know it now.
That's Pretty Clever.
Yep, I just looked
Gone Sean
at it.
Clever. That's Pretty Clever is... How do you describe this guy?
It's a roll and write.
Thank you.
You roll the dice, you write things down. Roll and write. Here we go. Moving on.
All right, so That's Pretty Clever is a roll and write that you are, essentially everybody picks from your, can pick from your rolls. So there's 6 dice in all, different colors. There's a white one that combines with another die if you choose that die. But each die represents a different area of your board. So you can, and there's like a lot of roll and writes where things avalanche. And that's not really the word.
Cascade.
Cascade. Thank you. That was the word I was looking for. Things cascade. So if you fill up a row, you may get a special benefit that allows you to mark something else off. And if that allows you to mark something else off, then it just kind of bounces around your board until you're done. But every roll, you're rolling the dice, you're choosing a die off of your roll, and you're putting it on your board. And then you're doing it again, and you're choosing a die, and doing it again, and choosing your third die. Now everybody else chooses one of the remaining dice to do, one of the 3 you didn't choose. Now if they choose that white die and you've already picked the blue dice, they get to use the number on your blue dice, but they've got the white die. So after everybody has done this, then you pick up all the dice and you pass to the next player, and it starts all over again. You play so many rounds based on player count, and at the end of those rounds, whoever's got the most points wins the game. Simple as that. It's just, I like how this one cascades.
Yes.
I love how those decisions you make early on, I really need to finish off this blue section, and that too would really help me do it, but gosh, a 6 green scores 6 points. And if I put it right here, I get to double that. So it's some hard decisions to make.
What's cool is as you're finishing rows off in the different colors and stuff, it's giving you something.
It's giving you
or
more
like
benefits.
in the green line, it's giving you points for different things.
Yeah.
And the purple line, you're writing numbers down.
Well, and it could literally just tell you.
Yeah, as you fill in, you could get a dice
X.
or...
I get to X off something in the yellow spots, or I get to X off an extra one in the blue. Great, I can't seem to roll a blue 12. Let me mark that off.
Or you get a re-roll.
Yeah.
Or you get what is the one called that?
It allows you to use
a dice that the
other
roller
player
had already
has.
used.
Yep.
Instead of
You
what
get to
was
copy
left.
one of their dice.
But yeah, it's a really good game.
I really like this one. We need to play this one some more.
It would
It's
if we did a roll and write top 10, it would probably be up there.
Well, we have enough.
But it's not on my list.
Okay. All right. But that is my number 64. That's pretty clever. Or Gongshon clever. Gongshon? I think that's how it's pronounced. Anyway,
Clever.
that's pretty clever.
Okay. So my number 64, we're going to stay with dice. But these are going to be big old chunky dice.
Big old chunky dice. We've got a lot
We're
of
going to
games
mix some superheroes in with it.
I don't know. I'm not
It has
sure.
an expansion.
That doesn't help me.
We bought it at Gen Con
That still does not help me.
while playing the game.
Oh, okay, that helps me.
This is like, how much am I gonna? This is the Reckoners. I was gonna say, and there's Steelheart, but this is the Reckoners, and yes, we have the expansion for it too.
Oh yeah.
But this is all about everybody has their player, their character. They're on the board. They have different cities. They're trying to defend the cities that Steelheart's trying to take over with his minions. You're rolling dice, and each dice is there's different colored dice, and each of those different colored dice has different things on it, like money, like. Wow, I'm drawing a blank now.
There's money. There's future actions. There is
Gold. No, but that would be money. Attacks.
Yes.
What do you call it to roll back their powers?
That term.
But anyway, the dice you're going to manipulate the dice on your turn. You're going to roll all your dice. You're going to say, okay, I'm going to keep this one, this one, this one. We're going to put it in that row, and then I'm going to re-roll. And you're going to re-roll 3 different times. And if whatever your last roll is, that's what you're going to get stuck with. And then everybody's doing this at the same time. And then you can decide, once everybody's done rolling, you decide
who's going to go
who's
first.
going to go. And it's like, okay, you use those dice to do this real quick, and then I can bring these dice in. And it's just a big co-op that you're fighting.
Yeah.
Finding Steelheart in all of his
That's my favorite
minions.
part of this. One, the components are gorgeous.
Yeah, they're big,
But
thick,
two,
chunky
oh
dice.
my gosh, the dice are beautiful. But there's a lot of decisions in this. Yes, you can have a quarterback player in this one. Absolutely.
This one works with a quarterback.
It does, especially if people aren't sure what they need to do.
Right.
But we played this, we did a recording of this one with 4 people who had never played this before. And I tried very hard not to say, here's what needs to be done. And just kind of give them suggestions. And by the end of the game, all 4 of them were on it. So, but it starts off pretty easy, but it doesn't stay that way.
Oh yeah, because we did that because Connor was the one that's piped up after the first round. That the heroes had the minions had not gone yet, and he's like, "Oh, that was easy. I thought you said this game was hard." It's like going, "It's their turn," and they're all like, "What? Wait, huh?" So, oh yeah, put the new ones out to the empty ones and move him around, and now they're going to attack, and they're like, "Wait." But yeah,
this is
it's a lot of fun. I mean, it's complex enough to make your head hurt
and
after
we have
a while.
not.
But
We have not won every game of this one.
we
We have
haven't.
lost a few times, but yet
Especially
it's not
with the
impossible. Oh, cool. Yeah. So
anyway, so this is number 64. 64. The
okay.
Reckoners.
I could almost guarantee this will show up later. I have not looked, but I would be shocked if it did not. All right, my number 63 is definitely not a cooperative game. This is a chaotic game set in space where you are trying to escape a black hole or singularity. What is it you're trying to escape? I think it's a singularity. This is Gravwell.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
And I second edition is what I've got on here, but both games play pretty much identical. The only real difference is second edition opened it up to 6 players instead of 4. And when you play a full player count,
You're going both ways.
Yeah, 3 players are starting on the outside edge trying to get in, and 3 players are starting in the middle trying to get out. And this is basically just a big loop. Well, not even a loop, a spiral, where gravity can sometimes be your friend, but not always. Matter of fact, more often than not, gravity is working against you. The idea is that you are playing out cards. Everybody starts with a set of cards.
And after that, you draft them.
After that, you're drafting your cards. You know about 50% of the information when you draft. You know what the top card is, but there's one card hidden underneath of it. And each card does something a little different. Plus, you're looking at the alphabet. There are scientific symbols on there, scientific, not equations, but symbols. Yeah, the periodic table symbols.
Periodic
Thank you.
Table.
Periodic table symbols on there. So you're basically looking at the alphabet of the periodic table, plus a number. That number is going to tell you how far you're moving, whether it be backwards or forwards. Gravity's pulling you in most cases. But the letter indicates your turn in the sequence.
And then the different colors. And
the different colors
are the
indicate
different
what
things that's going on.
happens.
Yep.
And there are symbols on there too, where either you are repelling off of the nearest thing next to you, or you are being pulled to the nearest thing to you. There is space junk in the way, so that space junk could be pulling you one way or the other. It's just a ball of fun, because you may play a card that begins with a C thinking, great, I'm going to go first. I'm moving 8 spaces. There is somebody 3 spaces ahead of me. I'm good. I'll jump that person and go 8 spaces because that person is pulling me out. But then that person plays a card with a B and he gets pulled backwards because of you. And now you're getting pulled backwards even further. It's just hysterical. Yeah, we've had a great time every single time we've played this.
Yep.
It's a good one. But yeah, this is Gravwell. It's a great one if you like chaos, because it is chaos.
I don't know if that one's on my list or not.
I love this one.
Okay, so we're at 63, so we are staying in space.
Oh, all right.
We're going to stay in space, and we are going to build a station by dismantling our ships. This is Foundations of Rome. I mean, Space Station Phoenix. Yes, that's a callback. You'll have to go back to other videos and find out what that's all about.
Yeah.
Anyway, so this is Space Station Phoenix, where you are going up into space to build the stations. You are on a ship. Your ship has basic actions that it can do.
Yeah.
But at some point, you're going to have to start dismantling your ship
Get the
to
steel.
get better actions onto your station to be able to do them there.
Yeah.
And that's the whole goal of the game, is to get your station built up
Yep.
to win the game. It's got the manipulation of the dice as to where you're going to go, what you're going to do. It's like, okay, I have this one that can shred up a certain amount of pieces to get my metal that I need, and metal is really hard to find.
Metal is hard to find, hence why you're destroying your ships.
Yeah. So you're grading up your ship to use the metal to be able to build the base. But I love it how it's at one point you got to decide, okay, what part of the ship do I need now?
Yeah.
Because I'm never going to have that
Which
action again.
ship am I willing to give up?
Because as they say, your best engine you have is at the beginning of the game.
Yes.
And now you've got to dismantle that engine to make another engine over here with your space station to be able to do other things.
Yeah, and you don't, once
So-
you start the game with a full engine, you don't build onto it.
No,
what
you
have
dismantle
is
it.
Yeah, that's a little weird.
But yeah, so
yeah.
the whole point of the game, though, is to build that. So you've got to dismantle and then build your space station. So it is really cool. It's a lot of fun. And it's an engine builder game, or de-builder, or
Basically, yeah, deconstruction.
deconstruction, an engine deconstruction game.
Yeah.
So,
It's
and I love the engine
definite
building
resource
games, so-
management.
Yep.
That's the whole key to this is resource management. How well can
Yep.
you...
And it has another track as you're going up certain... You can go up certain tracks as you do certain things, and it's going to give you bonuses when you do other actions. So it's really cool and worth getting, I think.
All right.
So that is Space Station Phoenix, my 63.
All right, my 62 is a crossover.
Oh, crossover number 2.
This is one of the more complex games on this week's list. We played this one for the first time at Dice Tower West last year.
Played a lot of games with Dice Tower.
We did. Picked it up on the way home. I did not have a good play of the first one. Not because of the game itself, just a lot of outside factors. But this is Wayfarers of the South Tigris. This is one of the more recent Shem Phillip games. And I've liked a lot of his games, don't get me wrong. We have several. And this is my favorite of his. This one is all dice manipulation, tableau building, worker placement. The neat thing with this one, though, is that the workers, once you obtain them, they are only yours for a short time. They are temporary. They are temp workers. Because as soon as you use them, they no longer belong to you.
Nope. It's whoever collects them up.
Whoever collects them up. And there are certain actions that you can do that will allow you to take the workers. But you're using your dice. You have a small, I don't even want to call it a tableau. It's more of a little grid on your board that you are putting tiles into that tell you what certain dice numbers will allow you to do. After I've collected all my dice back up and I re-roll my dice and I end up with a couple of ones, my ones allow me to do sale actions or card actions or whatever. And each number allows me to do something different. I love that dice manipulation. There is a little bit of manipulation in there. Some of your cards will allow you to manipulate it. Meanwhile, you are buying cards out on the board using workers
to build an engine.
To build an engine down below. And this is where your scoring is in your engine. I don't know. I like this one. We've played it several times, and luckily all the other plays were much better than that first one. But yeah, that is my number 61 or 62. Wayfarers of the South Tigris. I'm actually looking forward to his new one.
Scholars?
Yeah, Scholars. We almost picked it up the other day, but ended up with something else instead. So we'll see.
Anyway, so my number 62 is we're going into the deep, dark ocean, to the abyss.
Oh, okay.
So yes, this is Abyss.
Yeah.
This is all about card play, pretty much. You are going across the top by, I wouldn't quite say it's an auction, but you're going to turn over cards at the top, and everybody, you're going to go around, and if somebody wants it, they're going to put a pearl in, and then they get the card.
Yeah.
Or you say, I'm going to go ahead and take that one now, and then nobody else will get any. Or
it's a pressure luck aspect there.
Or a sea monster could come up, and it looks more like an eel.
It does.
But
it's an electric eel.
Then you can fight that and get bonuses off the side. You can go to the middle and pick up more people to help you out to get the cards for the lords, and the lords will help you get the locations that are going to give you special powers. So the lords are going to give you special powers, and you got to have a certain amount of colors to get the lords. Kind of a deck building. Hand management.
It's more of a hand management.
And the hand management is even more like a resource management, because those are resources.
You're spending them to get the lords.
To build a tableau of things. And then, but although once you get a location, you're using certain lords, and then they go underneath, and you do not have those powers anymore. So now you got to get more lords. But the location will give you a power. So sometimes it's a good trade-off. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes you're like going, I really want to keep this guy, but I really want that. But
well, and that's just it. You get so many lords with those keys on it, 3 keys, and you have to take a location.
Yes. But it's a really cool kind of, like we said, a resource management, tableau building, location collecting game. That's set in the deep sea of the Abyss.
All right.
So that is Abyss number 62.
Good game. Probably one of our more colorful games for sure.
Yeah.
All right, my number 61 is a throwback.
A throwback.
Yes, it is one of our first games we ever picked up. It is the first deck builder we ever purchased. This is Trains.
I didn't realize that was one of our first ones we picked up.
That was our. Okay. It was very early on.
It was an early deck builder that we got. Yes.
It was very early on in our collection. It was the first deck builder we ever bought. The first deck builder we ever played. This one plays very much like Dominion. And when the very first time we ever played Dominion, we compared it back to trains and honestly thought, I mean, spoilers, Dominion's not on either of our lists. I can guarantee you that. Mm-mm. And I get all the love Dominion has, but I like trains better. It does the exact same thing, but it gives me a board where I'm building out train racks. Train racks? Train tracks.
Train racks.
Train racks. I am building out train tracks. With trains, you've got a number of cards out. You choose which sets of cards you want out at the beginning of the game. You have your bad cards, your waste. You have your money cards. You have your cards that, cost 7 or 8 coins in order to purchase them.
But they're going to give you a really cool power.
They give you extra points at the end of the game. But early on in the game, they just clog your hand.
Oh, you're talking about those, okay.
Yeah.
But there are other cards
you want
that allow you
them,
to do things.
But you don't want them just yet. But there's also, you've got a number of cards available to you that do give you those special powers. They allow you to build extra tracks. They allow you to put in stations. They allow you to get rid of waste, which is super important. But meanwhile, you're playing the board. When you're building trains, you are building trains through specific areas, trying to connect one city to another or trying to connect areas together. We have a number of different maps, even.
We have the Rising Sun expansion for it.
We do. And we haven't gotten to play this one recently, but when it started coming up in Pub Meeple, I was like, man, I remembered how much I liked it. And we played Dominion recently in the Playing Through Our Collection, and it just made me want to play trains more. So yeah, that's my number 61, trains.
So my number 61 is all about survival.
Okay.
This is the game we played with Coopla Nerds, and I believe it's one of Mary's favorite games.
Yeah, it is.
This is Robinson Crusoe, Adventures of the Cursed Island. Okay. This is all about you're trying to survive. You get a mission at the beginning of the game. This is the one you're going to do. The last one we did, we had to go rescue Betty Lou or whatever her name was out on the island and bring her back because she was baking on the island.
She was baking on the rock out in the bay.
Bring her back to rescue her to our side to get her out of the sun and feed her to get her energy back up. All the while is trying to build a raft to get us off the island before the big storm comes, and then we can't get off. We're all going to die.
And we did.
And we die a lot in this game. This has been considered a very mean game.
It is very hard to win.
A lot of people don't like it because it's so hard to win, but I love the adventure of, okay, so we're going to explore these tiles and go see what we can do. Okay, we're going to go, or like Doug did, he went to go hunt and didn't have enough to go hunt with, then got mauled by the jaguar or whatever he found, though. But when you're hunting, you're getting food, you're getting more meat, you're getting furs and stuff like that to help you out during the day. You're also trying to build your shelters to withstand the weather.
But you're also exploring.
But you're also exploring to find all the fish and the resources and everything you need to build the raft or there's some fires you gotta light too.
There's one thing that requires building the raft to get off the island. We've only played a couple missions of this one because we've played the same mission a few times. We finally did beat it. I think we've won this once.
Yep. But this is, but it's a co-op, as you can tell, though. But I really like the whole thing that there's so much stuff that has to go on. You have to work as a team to get it done, which is, it reminds me a little bit of Galapagos, except for when the food runs out, you all are suffering.
It stays a cooperative.
This one, too, you're drawing event cards, and if you can't do the event, it gets shuffled back in, and when it comes back up, it is even worse. So this is really cool. We really like it.
Yeah, I like this
one. So this is Robinson Crusoe, mine number 61.
All right. That is it for this episode. For this 10. Let us know if you agree with any of our picks. What would make your top 100 and what wouldn't? So, but in the meantime,
until then, we'll see you soon.